If you're here for the quick prediction, then Suga Sean in round 2 by a triangle choke. Yes, I'm the guy who makes crazy predictions, which most of the time are incorrect, but when I do get them right, I look like a genius. I just posted DC vs Stipe prediction yesterday, and today I'm going to discuss the one and only Suga Sean O'Malley, so here we go. In my eyes, no reference to yesterday's iPokes video, I see that there are 3 types of confident people in the UFC. First, Conor McGregor, then there are Chael Sonnens of the world, and CM Punk. In the first group, in the Conor McGregor's group, I see Nate Diaz, I see Khamzat Chimaev, aka Khabib 2.0, and frankly I see O'Malley being in there as well, and many others belong to this group as well. What these people have in common, in my opinion,
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
is that they're extremely confident, but their levels of confidence accurately represent their technical skills, and they rise as their skills increase at the same rate. Now in the second group, in the Chael Sonnens group, that's where I put people like Ben Askren, Dylan Dennis, and many others. Don't get me wrong, these people are still the cream of the crop. They're extremely talented. However, their confidence levels seem to be somewhat higher than the actual skill level. And they use this as a strategy to either attract promoters, to get fights made, to scare the opponents in some cases, or just to motivate themselves. And there are also the CM Punk types, which fortunately seem to be fewer and fewer these days. I suppose this is where Logan Paul would have been put if he were to fight in the UFC. I'm glad to say that Suga Sean seems to be somewhere in between the first and the second groups. And as long as he doesn't reduce his training due to a false sense of superiority, we might have a new Conor McGregor in the making. So who knows? When it comes to Miley, it's hard to call him an up-and-comer because his previous fight, while stylistically favorable, it was against a legend, Eddie Wineland. And for some reason, Wineland always reminds me of Cowboy Cerrone. Just feel like they walk through life in similar ways. With that in mind, his current opponent, Marlon Chito Vera, is no cannon fodder. None whatsoever. He's a legend of the sport, definitely underrated. His boxing is superb most of the time. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good, and his takedowns are so-so, but I do see this fight going to the ground at some point, and this is where I see O'Malley shining. Even though on paper, Chito Vera is probably better on the ground than Sean. Thing with Chito is that he has never been finished. Not submitted, not KO'd, not nothing. Which is why I would go probably for either a decision or something like a triangle choke from O'Malley. With all that being said, I feel like Chito Vera, even if he doesn't fight emotionally, I feel like he'll still be, to some extent, possibly underestimating O'Malley's ground game. I think he'll be surprised how efficient, how lengthy, how offensive Sean's grappling can be. Now, to be fair, I have a tendency to pick fights based on how I want them to end, instead of what is more feasible. So if I try to be as mature as possible, I'd still pick Sean, but I would rather put my money on it going to a decision and Sean winning on scorecards. Or as I said, a triangle choke somewhere in round 2. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. So is the title accurate? In a way. The hype train is reaching its last stop, but there's a Suga show at the finish line with new and old fans eagerly waiting for a new star to rise. In other words, a new ranked fighter is born, and his name is Suga Shauna Miley. See you after the event.